The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 26.
Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of successful women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Subscribe to our newsletter by visiting thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey of self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap-Chan, and in today's episode, I have a special lady on today. She is from Austin, Texas. She is a woman on fire, a woman entrepreneur, and her name is Shirley Vang. And I'm going to introduce you to her. Maybe she can fill in a little bit more about herself. So, Shirley, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you for having me on here.
No problem. Thanks for taking the time to do this. I'm not sure if there's anything else you wanted to fill in for the listeners a little bit more about you.
I am a makeup artist. I've been doing it professionally for 3 years, and I have been on the road to entrepreneurship for about 6 months now. Yeah, so it's been a great journey, and I'm very blessed at this moment.
Sweet. That's pretty awesome. Would you be able to let the listeners know what your cultural background is?
Yeah, so I am Hmong. For those who don't know, that's spelled Hmong. We originated from around the southern China area, but a lot of us, including my parents, relocated to Laos. And so they actually came to the U.S. very early in their age, and that's where they met and got married and had all 10 of us, which, by the way, I'm the youngest of 10. So otherwise, yes, I am Hmong. And
awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And you know what? I never knew the H in Hmong was silent, so thank you for that. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. It is tricky.
I just have some questions for you. What would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
My favorite self-confidence quote, you know what, let me pull it up here. I love it. It's actually by a girl named Elizabeth Ross. The quote goes, "People are like stained glass windows. They sparkle and shine when the sun is out, but when the darkness sets and their true beauty is revealed, only when there is light from within."
Wow, that's a powerful one. I really like that.
Yes, I do. I mean, a lot of my favorite quotes are from Bruce Lee, but this one is very different, and it did touch me.
Sweet. Thanks for sharing that. And in your own words, what would be your definition of self-confidence?
My definition of self-confidence is loving yourself and seeing the beauty within everything. You know, you just not dwelling in the past. The only time you're looking in the past is if you're looking forward to fixing your present and future, you know. Yes, basically, in short, just to love yourself.
Thanks. I know I think as women too, it's kind of difficult to love ourselves because we criticize ourselves so much. I mean,
it's true. We are our own worst critic.
I know. I've been guilty of it. Trust me. And you know, we have to just sometimes look in the mirror and just say, you know what, you're beautiful just the way you are, right? And
yes.
And you know, God made us, or the universe, whoever you believe in, you know, they made us the way we are because, you know, we are beautiful in our own way. We have certain talents and skills and certain features that make us beautiful. So thanks for sharing that. And loving yourself is always, you know, the key, right?
Mm-hmm, right.
As all the listeners have been listening, this is like one of the, you know, main definitions of self-confidence from each woman is really to learn to love and believe in yourself. So thanks for sharing that. Pretty curious, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
Oh, it was a constant struggle. I think a lot of it was more of wishful thinking instead of believing that I could do something or just be confident in all of the areas. You know, it was a constant struggle. I wanted to be there, but then I didn't. I had such a huge ego to where I didn't want to ask for help. I wanted to come out as a person who knew what she was doing. So I did everything behind closed doors, trying to come out and be perfect. But then I realized what really hit me was that I can't be perfect unless I try. You know, I go from trial and error, you know, and if I wanted to get to that point in my life where I'm finally feel confident about myself, then I needed to seek help. You know, how else would I know what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right if no one else is there to mentor me or coach me along the way? So definitely it was an inner struggle. It was a fight between no one else but myself and I, and good thing we're on good terms now.
Thanks for sharing that. And it's true. Sometimes we just think we know everything and we can figure it out, but it's always good to have a support system that's been through it, who know what they're doing and can lead you to the right directions. So what was like your aha moment when you realized, you could do anything you believe in, right? It wasn't wishful thinking anymore.
My aha moment was really when I just took control of everything. I just woke up one day feeling different, and I just said, this is my life. No one is telling me what to do. I'm no longer a child, and life is just, it's beautiful, and it is what we make of it. And my aha moment was really just when I started taking control within every areas of my life. And then again, I started to believe myself in order to get everything to manifest from there on.
Thanks for sharing that. It's sometimes a challenge when we decide to control our own lives, especially, maybe coming from an Asian family. It's just, you're always told what to do. I don't know if that's the same way with the Hmong culture.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because there's always that status quo where, in order, the gateway to a successful life is to get an education. And I don't know what was different about me, because I just always, despite the fact that that's what my parents and my grandparents believed, I always just knew that whatever career path I chose, I was going to be successful in it anyway, because I had already determined that for my future. So it really just is all based around what you believe, and then it's your call.
That's so true. Even if there's, people telling you what to do, in the end, it's always your decision whether to follow it or, follow your own path, right? So
right.
Sometimes we just got to learn to trust ourselves. And I know that can be quite a challenge at times, right? Because maybe we've been conditioned to always ask approval for others, or always have to ask our parents if we're making the right decisions. But, I think you'll know that you're making the right decision because it'll feel right. It'll just flow right. And I'm sure you probably felt that same thing.
That's true. Yeah. A lot of times when people do ask for advice or so, they're usually just they've already made the decision. They're just looking for reassurance. So I think that's something that a lot of people do need to understand. But most of the time you have already made your decision beforehand. It's just, you do need that support system as well.
Thank you. So, after your discovery, when you realize, you can control your own life, what's your life like right now?
It's truly beautiful. I really wake up every day just being so thankful, and I'm just so focused on the things that I'm grateful for, and that actually paves the way to whatever I do for the day. So I'm more focused on the present now, and I think in the past I was focused on what I lacked instead of the bigger picture, and now I think what's really keeping me going is that I know what the bigger picture is like, because I have already claimed it, and and it's going from there because it's what I've written for myself.
Well, thanks for sharing that. And, I'm so happy for you that, you wake up with just a sense of happiness for your life, and that you're moving on towards a better future. For the woman who's listening to your episode, she's, listening to this, and she's listening to what you're saying and all the advice you're giving, in her own journey of self-confidence, what's that one tip you would give to her?
Own it. Own it and believe in yourself, because no one's going to believe in you until they see it in you already. Another thing about me was that, we kind of just set that look as if, we have it all together, but then really it truly comes within. I've seen it firsthand to where people base their happiness around materialistic things to appear as if they have it all together. But I know for firsthand that they are struggling with inside, because they're not truly on their path, and they're not doing what truly makes them happy. So find what truly makes you happy first, and then be grateful and thankful for everything that you do have, and it will pave the way to your success in the future.
Thank you so much, Shirley. And, I agree with you with regarding material things. When people see other people with flashy cars and flashy houses, it's great, but you don't know what happens on the inside. And, there's so many people out there who try to keep up with the Joneses, and it really just kind of ruins their life a little bit, because they're so, focused on trying to have the best things around, when in reality, it's really the experiences that you have that are really more meaningful. I mean, I read an article saying that people are happier when they have experiences over material things.
True. I strongly believe that it's all about finding your purpose in life, and that will determine your happiness. Because a lot of time you ask people what do they want, what kind of life do they want to live, and they'll say the basics of, I just want to have all the money I can, I want to be financially free. But to determine that, you really need to find your purpose in life and move forward from there.
Thank you so much. So I think I have just one more question. If someone wanted to contact you or get to know a little bit more about you, do you have a website that we can go to?
I do, yes. My website and blog is www.sincerelyshirley.com.
Sweet. To the listeners, just head over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com and search for Shirley's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I just want to thank Shirley for taking the time to share her story and her tips on self-confidence. So Shirley, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me again.
Not a problem. You're always more than welcome to come back. So to the listeners out there, tune in to another episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to another amazing episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Check out our resources to help you jumpstart your inner journey to self-confidence by visiting thetaoofselfconfidence.com.